Welcome everybody to Tuesday Night in Water.
Look at this. So we got Tefft. We got the names on the wrong sides.
We got the names on the wrong sides. We've got the. We actually have the names on the right side, but we have the cameras flipped. Somehow that happened. I don't know.
What?
You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like the cameras are looking the opposite direction as we're accustomed to.
Yes, and the lighting makes it look like these two players are playing completely separate opponents. But at least we have the big, hard obelisk omnipresent in both cameras still. That's very important.
Yes. What is Magic without an obelisk?
What is life without obelisk?
It's one of the more lasting pieces of art history has ever created.
The obelisk?
Yeah. I mean, there's obelisks that are, tens of thousands of years old.
Do you know what else is tens of thousands of years old?
The moon.
You knew. I'm impressed.
I just had to go back to something that was born many years ago.
You did it.
All right.
All right, so we've got an exciting one here. Andrew Tefft. All right, now we definitely have the names reversed.
1,000% names reversed.
But we have Andrew Tefft on the
so wait a minute, we had the names right with the other cameras. But now, so we need to switch the headshot camera.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No,
I literally said this.
You're right.
I'm an
idiot.
Good. Now that we've established that, we're off to the races
here.
We've officially Thoughtseize the first gifts ungiven. Put Andrew Tefft on because I'm very interested in seeing how this deck plays. This one's right up my alley.
Yeah, it's one of your favorite cards in Magic the Gathering. This Gifts Ungiven.
Yes. One of my least favorite cards in Magic the Gathering is also in this deck. In Goryo's Vengeance.
Oh, you don't think that card's good?
It's my least favorite card because it costs $50 and I want to buy them.
Oh, sure.
Well, we've got another Thoughtseize. I can guarantee the wrong decision is this Unburial Rites.
Okay.
Goryo's Vengeance is a solid one.
Path to Exile's an option.
Path is good. All right, Goryo's Vengeance is the selection. He didn't really have a way to pitch to enable that Goryo's Vengeance, so
right.
Not a huge deal, but
I might have taken the Path. I think if you're Ryan here,
it depends on what your hand is. Like if you're loaded with creatures, you can afford to trade one for some acceleration.
Yeah, the thing is once that Goryo's Vengeance resolves, you're toast.
Well, not really.
Okay, so we could get Gristlebrand, Iona.
No Gristlebrand.
Why couldn't you get Gristlebrand?
Because the deck doesn't play it.
Okay, you could get Iona.
Elesh Norn.
And
that's if he resolves a gift, so you know it's coming. The big one, the big advantage that Goryo's gives you is that this deck also plays Jace Vryn's Prodigy to pitch creatures.
Okay.
And multiple copies of Orzhov Ghost Council.
Oh, sure. Man, that's a card that'll help you go long.
Yeah, and that's the combo, quote-unquote, in this deck with Goryo's Vengeance. Because with Goryo's, you would typically, and then turn have to exile it.
But you use its own trigger.
Use its own trigger to exile it instead.
Somebody knows their rules interactions when they design this list.
Yeah, it's an adorable one. Oh, we've got a Bob.
Ryan with the darkest of confidants.
See, that's very reasonable to run out your Goyf to resolve a Bob, and it looks like Andrew drew the Iona. Iona's not one that you want to Goryo's Vengeance because it's just going to be swinging for 7.
Right.
Which isn't all too impressive.
Uh-huh.
But he's got multiple copies of Unburial Rites in hand, I believe. I saw 2 of them.
Oh, man, this greatness isn't going to cost Ryan on the first turn.
Not much, at least. It's going to cost him a little bit of information.
You know,
I do know.
I'll give people information
Will you?
if they let me draw. Yeah, I'll tell you what's in my hand if you let me draw a card.
Oh, that's really nice. What's in your hand?
My other hand right now.
Okay. Guess that wasn't really hidden.
Pluck. Plucked one right off the top of the deck there.
Ryan looking for something to do here.
Yeah, man, he was.
I don't know what's in his hand. It could be just lots of removal.
Yeah, he's a pretty removal-heavy deck, so I could see Game 1 having a lot of dead cards for him.
Absolutely. But it looks like we'll get to fire up a manland here and swing with a bob, which is pretty strong.
Not the strongest of manlands, but
it's fine. It's still a 4-point life swing.
enough to rough him up.
Not getting in there with Bob. Does Andrew have a mainland of his own? I can't really tell. I think I see a Darkslick Shores. I see Darkslick Shores, Concealed Courtyard, and Island. I can't see what the last land is, though. There's a little bit of a glare. So it could have been a manland.
Here's a Gifts Ungiven.
So Gifts Ungiven is how this deck operates. I'd imagine we're going to see, now that Ryan is good and tapped out, an Elishnorn combo.
Yeah, and that will get the...
We may see him go for the full 4 if he has a second way to discard, so that he can get Collective Brutality, Elishnorn, some other way to discard a card, and then like any other value spell.
Okay.
Because he already has the Unburial Rights in hand, is what allows him to do that.
Yeah.
And having Iona in hand as well means that he could very easily take this game away if he is able to stall for a turn off of the flashback. Alright, so we've got the full 4. Let's see what the gifts pile
see
is.
What we are here. Okay, so the Collective Brutality.
Jace Vryn's Prodigy. There's that one that I was talking about. Not a huge deal here, although it does also combo with Goryo's in that you can Goryo's it out and then flip it, and because it exiles when it flips
back, it's a new permanent.
It's a new permanent, so it doesn't get exiled. So it is a little bit of a combo. That said, I don't see a Goryo's there, so unless he's drawn another copy, I wouldn't expect that to be
I'm trying to figure out what
relevant.
these bottom 2 cards are.
It looks like a Snapcaster and another Gifts, perhaps?
Oh, sure.
Snapcaster for sure. Another Gifts, there it is.
Yep.
So just the full value. And now he's going to get to pitch whatever he wants with this Collective Brutality to get any removal out of his hand. And then he's going to be able to reanimate it if he has the Goryos. How many times are we escalating? All 3 modes.
There we go.
And here's the Jace. I can't tell what the last card in Andrew's hand is.
He drew a Ghost Council.
Yeah, he's got a Ghost Council. I don't know what the last one is.
So I think that puts...
It might be a second Unburial Rights, which is a little bit strange. These decks typically only run the 1.
Yeah, so Barrel Rights is 5 on the front end and 4 on the flashback. So it's a little bit more efficient coming out of the graveyard. So if he has an Barrel Rights in hand, he can't quite cast it here.
Right.
Ryan's going to fire up. I think he's delirious for this I think he has sorcery, instant, creature, land.
Yeah, looks like he is.
Gonna-
So, of note, earlier Ryan opted to not attack with his Dark Confidant.
Yep.
I'm assuming because this land that Andrew has is a man land that I still can't see.
The glared one under the... Whatever the land is under the concealed courtyard.
Oh, wow. We've got a path on the Jace Vryn's Prodigy. That is very interesting. If Ryan knew the type of deck that Andrew was playing, and I think he could kind of work it out, and he had more experience playing this matchup, Andrew trading a land, his 4th land, for a creature is a huge deal for you.
Right. Yeah, so now Andrew can play this Ghost Council of Warzava.
How is it that the one land that I want to know what it is always has that glare on it?
Because you can see all the other ones.
What?
So you wouldn't want to know what that land is if it didn't have the glare on it.
But it's always positioned in the spot that has glare.
My point is you'll always want to know what the glared land is because you don't know what it is.
I'm saying it could be in any other position and I would know what it is, but in that position I don't.
I know, but my point is if it didn't have the glare, you wouldn't want to know what it is because you would know what it is.
I would still want to know what it is. It looks like it's a creeping tar pit.
You know what it is. You would know what it is, so you wouldn't want it anymore.
You're not even making sense.
No, yes I am. Alright. This is a minor snafu here that he put a card that is not in his library on his library.
Yeah.
Just, it's a small thing. It's very small. It's messing up my feng shui.
Not supposed to do it, but it's fine.
Yeah, it, you know.
You won't get called for it at anything less than, like, a Grand Prix Day 2.
Alright.
Oh, do you disagree?
I'll call it at any competitive level.
All right.
Alright, here it comes back into play. Gets the trigger. Now I forget, does that card gain haste?
When it comes back, yes. It doesn't have haste naturally.
Okay, noted. Not naturally hasty.
Swings for 5. Takes Ryan down to 8. Oh, it's an Altered Lingering Souls. And the flashback. Okay. That would explain why I could not tell what the heck that card was.
Because it was not painted like a normal Magic the Gathering card.
No.
So here we have another path getting the Ghost Council out of the way.
Yeah, so the Ghost Council is great and all, but
I'm getting a peek into Andrew's deck here.
With these paths being fired off, I'm very surprised we haven't seen Iona come to play. In Abzan, there's only really path that gets rid of Iona. So swing 6 puts Andrew down to 6, would bring Ryan up to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew with the 4 spirits, not going to be able to do much effective blocking here. Throwing 3 spirits in front of the Shambling Vent isn't bad, except he has another. He has a backup.
Mm-hmm.
And if he has any instant speed removal, you're just completely blown out.
Which is why you would put the 4th one in there. So the additional
Absolutely.
blocker isn't gonna die, but it does open you up to not having the path blow you out or whatever. Fatal push.
I believe you.
More permanents from Ryan. They have power and toughness.
And now we're going to get
They have lots
Unburial Rights. on Una. Naming white. So this is a big deal. I'm surprised you didn't do this last turn.
Yeah.
Especially since now he's kind of locked into chumping with these spirit tokens.
I'm surprised the Elishnorn didn't hit the bin.
Well, he didn't need it at the time. But yeah, an Elishnorn would have been game. Like, just straight game over here.
So, like, the additional gifts was unnecessary. Was the unnecessary card there. You could have replaced the additional gifts with the Elishnorn at almost zero cost.
Maelstrom Pulse on the Iona. Very nice top deck. Alright, so now we have to throw...
Well, these Grimflayers have trample.
Right.
So we have 8 trample. So we can block 3 of that while we block 2 from the Shambling Vent. So we're going to put ourselves to 1 here.
Yep. It's not great, but it's the only way.
Yeah, I don't know what Andrew's draw here that gets him out of this is.
He could hard cast an Elishnorn.
Which doesn't win him the game.
Wouldn't necessarily win him the game. His last card is a land. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it's a fetch land, so he can't do anything with it.
Right.
Draws a land anyway, so that'll do it.
That'll scoop it up. We'll go to game 2.
On to game 2. So Andrew may have had a little bit of a play error there that kind of cost him that one.
I'm trying to think of the lines that open up when you have the gifts there. Like he can't give it to you, right?
Right, you can't give him the second gifts. There's way too much value.
Right.
I think the turn that he cast the Ghost Dad, the Ghost Council of Orzhova, he should have instead did the Unburial Rites on the Una. Or Iona, sorry.
Okay.
And if not then when he flashback or cast and flashback the Lingering Souls, he should have.
The other thing that I think is there is value in choosing to not exile the Ghost Council. You can choose to leave it in play as a blocker, which is plus 4 life by not having the Grimflayer come in.
Right.
And it's also plus the trigger. You prevent Ryan from having the trigger, which I think really put Ryan over the top there. I mean, he had gas at every possible opportunity.
So the other benefit of that is that the trigger from Ghost Council coming back into play was kind of negated by the Shambling Vent attack every turn. So I mean, you kind of end up neutral there.
Yeah, I mean, the deck isn't trying to race. I mean, the Goryo's Vengeance deck, like once you have somebody in the situation of like, okay, I've got this Elishnorn in play and these Lingering Souls tokens or whatever the situation you're trying to generate, you're gonna win the game from that position.
Most times, yeah.
The idea of like, okay, I've got to race these Grimflayers is not reasonable.
Right. But I mean, if he gets at the if he gets the Iona there instead of the Ghost Council, then he can stop the second Grimflayer from coming down easily if he names black. I mean, it just gets pathed, but he doesn't know that.
Sure.
And then it completely stymies his offense and then you can attack with the Iona the next turn, and then play your Ghost Council, and then that's game, basically.
Sure.
Very happy that we still have this obelisk in the shot. I'd be sorely disappointed if I had to live a life without the obelisk.
I wonder what the over-under on oldest obelisk.
Oldest obelisk.
Oldest standing obelisk. Obelisk. Is it an obelisk or is it an obelisk?
It's an obelisk. I would say 4,500 years.
4,500 years. Let's see.
Standing. All right, Andrew has kept his 7 land for turn, representing Fatal Push, which is still in his hand. A couple of land go turns here. An Inquisition from Ryan. And this is really where Ryan can get ahead in this deck, is taking away key pieces of these hands. Is that an Ojutai's command?
Yes.
Very nice.
So Ojutai's command, back in its standard environment, was awesome with Jace.
Yeah.
You could, counter their creature and bring your Jace back and then flip your Jace.
Very nice.
Yeah. Very sweet. Let's see. 1458 BC, and it's 2017 AD. So that makes it
35.
Yeah, 30. Yeah,
like
35. 3,500. Yeah.
That's the oldest.
Now, so the oldest one they have listed here is. They don't say when it is.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
The earliest temple obelisk's original position is the red granite obelisk of Sunaset of the 12th dynasty.
Yeah, that makes sense. Andrew,
done.
happy to play Draw Go here. Oh man, a Grafdigger's Cage has been added to the board. That makes things a little bit rough. I don't know what kind of outs he has to that. I mean, you could just start hard casting stuff and that's fine. But typically these decks play green so they have access to Abrupt Decay.
Right.
In this case, I'm just not sure. So it looks like Ryan kept a little land light one here, although he drew a Overgrown Tomb for turn. So we won't miss our third drop.
There you go. So this Abzan deck has really surged in popularity.
Oh yeah?
In the last month here in the city of Cincinnati. I don't know if that's happening nationwide.
Oh, just in the city of Cincinnati.
Well, that's the only place I really play Magic.
So just in the store, you've seen some more Abzans.
Well, I was playing in a PPTQ last weekend. There's plenty of Abzan to be had.
Oh, so someone played Abzan against you?
No, I didn't play against any of it. I scouted the PPTQ.
Oh, wow. That's a little dirty.
No, it isn't. can scout. No, I was doing my job as a modern commentator. I feel like I should be out there
in the world,
hitting the streets, playing the modern.
Hitting the streets. Okay.
There's a couple of opportunities to play modern this weekend in town. I hope you take one of them.
I will not be taking any of them, likely.
All right, perfect.
I think the modern I am most excited about is the Rocco's Modern Life reboot.
Is there really a Rocco's Modern Life reboot?
Oh yeah, that's happening. Yeah, there's gonna be a Hey Arnold movie as well. Exciting stuff.
That's when they brought back Ren and Stimpy for like a week.
No, I do like this modern format a lot. Let's see what the play is here. A Goif. Pretty solid.
I think that shadow should be banned.
Alright, so we've got a 4-5. We get a drain for 2.
Ooh.
A Celestial Purge. Man. Just doesn't do anything here.
Alright, so Ryan's going to go to a real low life total here.
Going down to 6. We've got a Goif, a Scavenging Ooze that's not really ever going to get bigger. I mean, I guess it could eat its own guy. What is... Ranker's just passing the turn here.
Alright.
I mean, I guess he's got to block with this Shambling Vent.
Or have the removal spell.
Yeah, there's not... I mean, it could be a path.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So, like, he could have played any creature there. He knows Ryan, or Andrew has the
Ojuchai's
command for him.
Alright, so back up to 17. Ryan down to 4. Draws the Fatal Push, which is likely the nail in the coffin here.
Oh, he's going to choose to use the Celestial Purge. That's...
Yeah, it's a
good choice.
Use him if you got him.
Yep.
That's how he drew it up.
Alright, 1-1. Ryan kind of stumbled there.
A little bit. He got his sideboard card out, which I'm sure he was really happy about before realizing it doesn't do a ton. Like, it shuts off the combo, like the fast combo kills that Goryos can produce, but it still doesn't stop, like, the value cards and, like, the removal from being played. Like, this deck can play a very real game of Magic.
Sure. A more traditional game of Magic, a little more back and forth versus just here's me doing my thing.
Right. All right, Ryan Kurz on the play for this critical game 3. Why is Andy's beard so great? Can't really answer that for you. Maybe our spotter will feel generous and ask Andy, but I don't think that's going to happen either.
It's good density. He's got good beard density.
And why does Ryan look like he hates life? I don't think he hates life.
Oh, Ryan loves life. I've never met a young man with a greater zest for life.
Like lemon zest for life?
like zestfully clean for life.
Oh, wow. Ryan, with the early fetch shock, likely into a Thoughtseize, and here we are, down to 15. Looks like we got a few lands, an Odutize Command, Jace Prodigy, Gifts Ungiven, and I believe that's the Lingering Souls that's altered to not have a white border to make things difficult for me to see.
I always wonder because Wizards announced that the new land's coming in unbridled, or what's it
Unstable.
called? Unstable. They said that the lands reach all the way to the edge.
Right.
So I can't imagine what these things look like. But,
So
but they have to look like the borderless altars that people do.
Likely. When it comes to Magic cards and pizza, I like the phrase all the way to the edge. The less border, the better.
I think the border is important. I think there's some important elements to a good... What do we got here?
What do we got here? Turn 2. There's a plethora of 2-drops here. I'd like to see a Bob, even though he's already at 13. Scavenging Ooze is the play. It's going to be a 3/3 after it eats this Jace.
Yeah, if he untaps with this, it's just as good as having a Graph Digger's Cage here. You leave a green up and you can, interact very favorably with that graveyard.
Yeah, except Andrew can interact favorably with the Scavenging Ooze, but not a Graph Digger's Cage. It's down to 13. Fetching for a very specific land.
Very specific. Didn't find it. We're going to go look again. He's got a good plan B land here.
Round 2 of the search. The search continues. Basic Plains has been pulled to the front.
Still wants to look. All right.
Basic Swamp. Probably what he's looking for the first time, and just skipped over it because it's just a draft swamp.
Yeah, it's just a random draft swamp. We need to. Can we get at least like the Amonkhet horned swamp?
No.
I'm holding up the excitement horns like I'm at a rock show.
Oh, those are the excitement horns now?
Yeah, man. I'm stoked about the horns.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Here's a Nihil Spellbomb.
Yeah, Niles Spellbomb would do a great job of clearing out that graveyard and cycling drawing card, which I believe is what we're going to see here. Let's see if he can successfully not target his own graveyard.
Well, considering we are in live play and not online, I think he'll be okay. There's no way to misclick. All right, uses the Scavenger Ooze to get the Lingering Souls out.
He's got a lot of graveyard redundancy here.
All right,
Andrew already in chump mode. That's surprising.
Well, I think he's made a decision here that these Lingering Souls are going to be going to make the game go long for him.
That's true, but in this case, they could have double blocked this Grimflayer.
Not a humongous fan of that.
Well, the Grimflayer is just gonna
roll on over.
Now.
You're right.
Like, that's not good. That's not where you want to be. Andrew Tefft now graveyardless.
Here we're coming for...
Yeah, and Andrew's letting him trigger here, which is not great for Andrew at all. But here we are.
Grimflare is one of the more subtle Magic the Gathering cards they've printed in a while. Like, the incremental advantage you gain there is hard to most players to realize.
Yeah, there's not much subtle about a 4/4 for 2, though.
Well, it has... You have to do some work to get it there. I'm saying the trigger of putting cards in the graveyard or leaving some on top.
So a subtle trigger. You're saying it's got a subtle trigger.
I'm saying the power of that trigger is very subtle.
I see.
All right, fine.
All right, so we're going to get a Flip Jason's Prodigy, I believe, into a Supreme Verdict here. Or not. Oh, he doesn't have the 4th land. That's no good.
I wouldn't know, because apparently my opinions are null and void in this space.
Okay.
No, yeah, you want to hit all your land drops, especially when you're facing down quite the army that Ryan's amassed over here.
So this is interesting. Andrew's got a path in hand. He can chump, and
oh, he's pathing one of his own tokens.
That's reasonable.
Man, that's
heads up play. And
yeah, that
not
is
blocking the Grimflare here is good. A, it's just 2 damage. B, when he rearranged the top 3 last time, he left all 3 on top.
Oh wow!
So he's only going to see 1 new card, which isn't the end of the world, but still not great for you.
Right.
In this case, though, you're going to get to clear up the whole board next turn.
I'm wondering if this play is just too telegraphed, though.
Well, so the deck is very dependent on the land, especially when he has his graveyard hosers out, so you're not able to really cheat anything into play off of like a Goryo's Vengeance. So you need as much land as you can, so it's not too telegraphed. Clearly, he really wanted the 4th land, though.
Ryan's pumping the brakes on adding to the board.
Draws a Detention Sphere. A Detention Sphere is going to be a big game one day. It might be used to get rid of this Nihil Spellbomb in order to turn on these gifts and given. Ryan only with 3 lands himself, though.
It looks like Go for the Throat down.
Yeah, we have Go for the Throat, multiple copies of gifts.
Okay, so he's going to put the redundant copy of gifts into the graveyard.
Perfect. Alright, so Andrew once again with no graveyard. Well, now 2 cards in yard. But able to clear up Ryan's board pretty easily there. Let's see if Ryan's got a follow-up. He's been setting the top of his deck, but not putting anything in his graveyard, which is interesting.
That's your subtle interaction.
It looks like he's got the 4th land here as well.
It's hard. It's not easy. It's not just, oh, look at the top 3. It's like you got a plan. Like, I don't like it because, like, that's not card advantage, but it's almost like the card selection.
Scavenging Ooze number 2.
Scavenger Ooze, he's got the Goyf option.
Well, it's hard because then the board state changes.
Opts instead to eat the Jace.
So he's keeping it open as if Andrew has the combo just ready to fire off in hand.
Go for the Throat. Answers the Scoos.
Andrew finds a Throat.
Supreme Verdict exiled. Not a huge loss for Andrew. He really wanted a 3rd land there to be able to Detention Sphere this now Spellbomb as well, but
Oh man, if Ryan waltzes his lingering souls into this,
Play like an Abzan. Like you got the path and the way out.
yep. And now Andrew's gonna have all the answers. He's got all his land now, and he's had a grip chock full of cards. So
I mean, he definitely wants more land. This Nile Spellbomb is making life difficult. He's got a handful of graveyard interaction.
That's the hardest part of the when you play without gifting from a cube deck because you can't just go get 3 wraths.
So Andrew's taking 4 here, going down to 8.
and here comes one more threat. I think Ryan's in the mood for one more threat.
Believe he's got a Lily in hand.
I would be very interested in casting that card. I don't think he has 3 black, but you can activate the Nile Spellbomb without the 3rd black mana. Oh, apparently the mana was in hand.
So there we go.
Those aren't there like overboarding against a graveyard deck.
So he's plussing souls and souls. Interesting decision here for Ryan. He can flashback his Lingering Souls now, but give up the card off of this Nile Spellbomb.
I still like Relic from I like graveyard and Relic more so than
Running out the gifts with an active Nile Spellbomb is pretty ballsy.
it's actually
He might just be trying to get 4 different lands here.
Or
Gifts might be non-land, actually.
I wonder if
No,
he
it's just any card.
I wonder if he can get piles that are good enough that Ryan will activate the Spellbomb, but not so good that he can't gifts again for like a better set.
Yeah, I mean, that's entirely possible. You just get something with a bunch of value and like a Snapcaster or something like that.
Right.
I think another Jace here would be pretty reasonable.
Sure, you can't give him the Jace. Yeah, Jace, Snapcaster, and 2 value cards.
I haven't seen him play lately.
Jace, Snapcaster, Lingering Souls.
Well, he's already got a Lingering Souls in the yard. Goryo's is a good one.
Yeah, you probably have multiple Goryos in the deck.
It's better like toolboxy stuff. Not to use his toolbox, but it's not toolbox. It's like Todd Stevens. You ever find that green one die deck online? Can't win with it.
These gift piles are pretty difficult when you have to deal with a lot of interaction.
Sure. Yeah, he's just got all the possible cards.
Alright, so it looks like it's Goryo's Vengeance,
Island.
Path, and Fatal Push. Ryan's going to take a good second here to go through the different options. Alright, so Spellbomb down. That's going to be a very big deal here.
Here we go.
Alright, so we've got land. I'm guessing we're going to see an Abzan here. Oh, he's got a 3rd gifts as well.
Okay, the Attention Sphere chooses the creature. He's going to pass. So if Ryan pluses Liliana here...
He gets to discard the Abzan, and he gave him the Goryos. Oh, I think the draw was a Collective Brutality. That could be a big deal here. So this is going to be big deal. He's going to have to take the Goryos if he plans on plussing Lily. But this Gifts Ungiven is a big game still.
Absolutely.
Takes the gifts, which means he's not planning on plussing the Lily this turn.
Correct.
Flashback Lingering Souls. And here we go. It looks like we're just going to see an Abzan at this point.
Yeah, there's no reason to do anything else.
So you could hold up Ojutai's command for some reason, but at this point, the trigger offsets the future Lingering Souls attack.
Oh, he has the path.
Has the path. Very nice.
All right, this puts Ryan in solid position to win this game. He's run Andrew out of threats. Yeah, he's got the Goryo's Vengeance in hand, but I don't...
Out of threats and gifts, I believe Ryan's played 3 copies of Gifts Ungiven. Well, discarded 1. Had 1 pulled out by a Thoughtseize, and has played actually 1. But we've seen 3 copies. He's got a lot of staying power with this Ojutai's command still. Just a land. We'll want to keep that in hand and discard to the Lily. Pressuring the Lily. That's solid.
Into it. Yeah, so that'll be gone in 2 turns. I didn't see that he had the man land there. That changes the texture of the game quite a bit.
He's got that glare, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if the glare wasn't there...
Don't even talk to me about that. I'm done. Done with that. You don't make any sense.
No, it makes perfect
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense at all. Pure poppycock.
What?
Pure poppycock.
Like the delicious snack mix?
Pure poppycock. A second Creeping Tar Pit has joined the battlefield.
Yep.
Down to 4, which is a bit deceptive as he does have that Ojutai's command, so he can gain a little bit of life back. The draw there, Collective Brutality.
All right.
Solid. I don't know that we're ever going to need this Goryo's Vengeance.
Well, here's what you probably want to do. You probably want to hold on the Collective Brutality as it doesn't really do that much.
It kills a token and drains him for 2.
Right.
Which gives you a ton of time.
No, it's even better if you hold it for when you draw a creature, and then you can Brutality, drain 2, make him discard something, and then flash, like get the creature that you discarded back with the Goryo's Vengeance.
You can just cast anything he draws. We're at that point of the game. We don't need to get cute with it.
Yeah, you do, because what if Ryan has a Path of Exile in hand? Anything he draws is going to get pathed.
Okay.
And so if you take my line, you get to make him discard the path.
You can still make him discard the path. You just choose different modes. You don't have to wait. You can fire it off now. Stay alive forever. Stay alive forever, Taylor.
I can live forever.
Down to, or up to 6 rather.
Do you draw a card? All right, there
Draws
we go.
another Supreme Verdict. Oh, and a Snapcaster Mage.
So now
Tides, they are a
he can
turning.
snap this Gifts Ungiven?
He can do whatever he wants. The world is his oyster. I don't know if you know about oysters or worlds, but pay attention.
I'm not very worldly. I'm not very oystery.
Well, there you go.
Got a Skyline and oyster cracker.
Yeah, Skyline does have oyster crackers. I will
That's
give you
about
that.
all I know about regarding that topic.
So Andrew's drawn 2 cards. Ryan has to know something's going on here. All right, we're to turns now. Ooh.
Our spotter is out there, spotting for us.
So I think we can win with a Goryo's on the Elishnorn and activating a Creeping Tar Pit this turn. If he's even got Elishnorn. I haven't seen it.
Concur. I have not seen it either.
That would be a pretty big mistake, in my opinion, as it's much better than Iona
Against this deck specifically.
against everything
Okay.
in the world. Mono red creatureless deck, give me that Elishnorn. 10 times out of 10.
You have to be incorrect.
Clearly, I'm exaggerating. We've gotten all 4 cards here.
See, if you get exactly 2, they both go to the bin.
Yeah, so this is a little bit strange. I can't tell what the 3rd card is.
Jace
Abzan, yeah, Jace Abzan, I don't know, and then a Fatal Push.
Is it a smuggler's copter?
It's definitely not a Smuggler's Copter. It might be a Soul of Phyrexia.
Oh, jeez.
It could be a Soul of Theros.
Soul of Theros?
It doesn't really look like a Soul of Theros, but it could be.
No,
Could be literally anything.
It's better than Bring the Light. It's a flank power.
speculating is way more fun than actually saying what the card really is.
It's a Goblin Guide.
It could be a Goblin Guide. It didn't look like a Goblin Guide, but
Sometimes the promo ones look funny.
that's true. And sometimes they're altered to have different colored borders, so you can't tell what the cards are.
Right. I think it's a foil flying tendrils.
All right, giving him the Flying Tendrils, denying him the Jacerin's Prodigy. This is turn 1 of turns, which is why it was so peculiar to me that Ryan did not go for a more offensive configuration on that gifts, but here we are. I don't know what his plan to victory here is.
So we look at Damnation Thoughtseize.
So you have to take the... You don't have to take anything. I guess you take the Damnation because you want him to cast the Thoughtseize.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any manlands? I don't see any. So it looks like we're going to get to Goryo's, the Jace, apparently. I don't even know.
I think he's just taking the most circuitous route to getting this Abzan into play. Because now he's going to Goryo's...
But then he can't Flaying Tendrils this turn. Alright, well, here we are. We flashback at Goryo's Vengeance. He has to pay 1 more for it. Abzan, drain for 2.
Come in with this.
Swing for 7. Which puts him at 1.
Puts Ryan to 1.
All right.
All right, so this, what it did was it tightened, I think, by Goryosing the Abzan, giving it haste, it reduced Ryan's possible turns down to 1.
Yeah, I just don't understand why
several.
to the Jace instead of the Abzan originally.
Oh, because he wanted the Jace to be in play.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem relevant there. But, oh well.
We're gonna step out. We'll step right back. You guys don't go anywhere. We're gonna have another great great match for you.
Dare close your eyes. We'll be right back.
Taylor Dex. Let's go.
Thanks for watching Top Deck Productions, your home for live weeknight Magic the Gathering. We'll be back with more live Magic shortly, so stay tuned. Don't forget to follow us here on Twitch to be notified of when we go live. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe as well. You can also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/TopDeckProductions, on Twitter at twitter.com/TopDeckProds, and YouTube at youtube.com/TopDeckProductionsStream.